The United States has used the A-10 Warthog, U.S. Air Force for many years, and in spite of many anticipations of its imminent retirement in the U.S., has exceeded beyond to keep it intact, as well as to enhance it further today, as we dive far into the historical accounts and updates a picture of the Warthog, showing how it's repeatedly shocked the entire world and more as we explore the amazing updates and the extensive background of the prepare to be amazed by the super A-10 Warthog. By this remarkable aircraft's travel from the time it started serving to the outstanding tenacity and its enduring importance, will reveal the most recent changes and inventions that possess enhanced the A-10 Blacksnake 7 more Warthog amazing. Please join us as we investigate the brand new Super A-10 Warthog Blacksnake. The A-10C just stunned everyone. Thunderbolt 2, lovably referred to as recently, the Warthog has been given improvements that strengthen its already remarkable abilities. Legendary aircraft has an amazing resilience that goes against the grain anticipations, demonstrating its flight capabilities using only one engine. Half of an elevator missing half a wing and half of its tail, however, it is still essentially unbreakable. Ever since its debut in 1976, the A-10 Warthog's career has been outstanding, covering almost 50 years, and its retirement won't be possible until at least its extended service is at least the 1940s richly deserved, since no other airplane in the U.S. inventory is comparable to the capacity to offer close air support. It was intended for ground troops, especially to provide close air support. The A-10 Thunderbolt 2 from Fairchild has its standing as among the most efficient anti-tank planes in the world, mostly because of its unique ICVAG 8 Avenger 30mm gun. But prior to this year, the Air Force of the United States showed off the aircraft's incredible anti-tank abilities in the early training and testing at the Nevada Test Facility range of the A-10C in February 2023. Thunderbolt 2 demonstrated how it can breach contemporary armored cars with explosive reactive armor. Every test mission consisted of two A-10C's armor-piercing explosion bullets at fictitious main battle tanks with her, which makes these examinations especially importantly. The pilots differed in their attack strategies and parameters to evaluate the effectiveness of the weapon against targets, with thick armor via post-production evaluation of film footage and visual examination of the objectives. Analysts concluded that the tanks were completed. Major Kyle Addison, commander, is incapacitated. Of the 422nd Assessment and Test Division, A-10C of Squadron highlighted the firepower of the aircraft. He outlined how a normal A-10 gun 120 rounds are needed for employment, allowing the A-10 to attack 9 to 10 targets prior to running out of gun ammo. A-10 groups are able to engage in over 40 armored automobiles with 30mm ammo, making it is an extremely powerful force in combat. The 30mm GAU-8 gun on the A-10, which extends from the nose of the aircraft, boasts a 3,900 round per minute rate of fire a minute. The origin of this strong weapon dates from the first part of the 1970s. As soon as the U.S. Air Force asked suggestions for a rapid-fire 30mm cannon be used while the axe is in the air support aircraft, which resulted in the development of THEG-8, a model created by General Electricity, the so-called government contract for the creation of 4 distinct various cannon ammunition type semi-armored target practice rounds, piercing, armor-piercing, explosive and incendiaries burning matches. The most recent testing evaluated the efficacy of AGM-65, a Maverick, and the advanced AGR-20 precise killing mechanism to combat armored cars, in addition to the 30 meters. First Lieutenant Fire from your cannon Christopher Earl took the 59th exam and assessment test of Squadron A-10C operations analyst, underlined the continuous character of these initiatives. He said that since then, testing has been ongoing. 2020 saw the start of the idea, and the plan is to keep testing different kinds of weapons against armor in the Air Force stock. against vehicles with irregular equipment, obtaining more information now that the idea has emerged and shown to be effective. Additional improvements consist of structural improvements like newly designed wings, 10,000 flight hours, in addition to the utilization of contemporary digital technologies. A noteworthy application is the A-10 Precision Engagement Initiative, present Festic or HODIS, and hands-on throttle system that gives pilots command over the functions of the aircraft without eliminating their hands off the lever of control. Additionally, the A-10 is changing to a contemporary digital battlefield created by incorporating multipurpose screens, displays mounted on helmets, and new electronic apparatus, such as advanced. These upgrades to radar systems are intended to improve the situational awareness of the A-10 and the ability to target, making it even more powerful. Against outstanding addition to the contemporary wearing of helmets with systems with integrated displays, such as the BAE Systems Visionix display system Scorpion. These headgear offers pilots essential data and targeting information, enhancing their precision and efficiency in the course of missions. Furthermore, the A-10 is scheduled to get a Link 16 connection, enabling additional effective data interchange and communication. This special aircraft is the sole American-made fighter aircraft created from the bottom up to deliver exceptional swift air assistance, and it's not an overstatement to claim that it has prevented more lives than the majority of other planes, and this is what many veterans owe their lives to. Powerful apparatus. Its journey started amid the Vietnam War's backdrop. Within 1965, the year of the first ground attack, the Douglas A-1 Skyraider aircraft proved insufficient and lacked speed, firepower, and was extremely exposed to ground fire that caused substantial losses. This shortfall brought attention to the requirement for a specific attack aircraft that might offer the required close air support. Nevertheless, in the hunt for appropriate substitute for different aircraft, the F-4 Phantom and the F-11 ARVAR, the F-5 from Northrop, and even the A-7 version of the LTV A-7 Corsair II were taken into account. However, none could close the vital gap. In 1966, a crucial choice was made that the U.S. Air Force changed its emphasis from attempting to modify current aircraft to building an aircraft specifically for close air assistance. It would deal with the A-1 Skyraider's weaknesses and the combat helicopters from that time period commemorated the launch of the AX program, which would produce the A-10. General John P. McConnell, the Warthog, the USAF Chief of Staff, issued the creation of the CASA aircraft by December of that year. The specifications, the action guideline for the Attack Experimental Close Air, or AXSA support aircraft, was shown to the Attack Experimental Office in the U.S. Air Force, improved there in 1970 prerequisites to take into account the potential danger posed by Soviet armored units and the requirement for an offensive in all weather conditions functions. The current specifications comprised a top-mounted 30mm rotary cannon, 460 miles per hour top speed, and a takeoff distance of an external load capacity of 4,000 feet, 16,000 pounds, a 285-mile flight radius, and an aircraft that would have cost roughly $1.4 million, or roughly $10 million. The competition was intense today with building Northrop and Fairchild, Republic, the UA-9A, and YA-10, A prototypes accordingly. In a much-awaited flyoff, the A-10 clearly outperformed the criteria and emerged as the victor of the $10 million X program version in production called the A-10 Allies Warthogs, and the sound of an endless volley of Gatling cannon rounds to adversaries would continue to safeguard U.S. soldiers and their allies throughout. Global serial manufacturing of the Warthog began in February 1976. Additionally, the initial attack aircraft was approved by the Tactical Air Force of the upcoming month. Command. The production line was running at a faster pace that delivered more than 715 U.S. Air Force with Warthogs. The A-10 is famous from 1984 for its remarkable low altitude and low speed flexibility because of its big wings, large ailerons, and low wing angle because of its wing design. It can execute brief landings and takeoffs, making it appropriate for usage on outdated airfields near the front lines. In addition to the at 5,000 feet, A-10 can linger for roughly 2 hours, and the number rises by an extra hour with the inclusion of a 600 US gallons of external fuel storage. Leading-edge honeycomb panels offer strength with little weight, and comparable panels envelop the elevators and flaps. Keel sections exhibit remarkable adherence with damage resistance. Situated at the roll is improved by the wing's far ends, control by encircling almost 50% of the wingspan. A feature of this design offers enhanced mobility even at low rates, and they can function as air brakes, reducing the airplane's speed when required at a reduced cruise speed around 340 miles per hour. The A-10 outperforms the greater fit for a ground assault than the fast fighter bombers of the era, which had trouble aiming smaller and more slowly adversarial items in practice. Over time, the A-10, the Warthog, is no longer a brute. From 1970s force attack aircraft, a formidable but astute combat machine with an offensive feature suite that has quick metal penetration protection equivalent to a cat's 9 lives, and a highly sophisticated avionics suite that it might be misidentified as a Teflon's more the centerpiece of the A-10 sits 30x 173mm G8 Avenger is its weaponry. Autocannon capable of releasing unceasing tempest of 3,900 arm-piercing rounds of depleted uranium shell rounds every minute. What a fantastic powerful weapons, paired with accurate targeting and the benefit of having superior air power, can quickly destroy the enemy's infantry tanks and armored personnel. Carrier's own marvel in its gate, Avenger cannon ice in its own. This outstanding work off machine speed reaches its maximum in merely 0.5 seconds to fire off and remarkable 50 rounds in the initial while. It operates for a second to warm islets off a rapid burst of fire, achieving an astounding 65 to 70 rounds. What's genuinely remarkable about it is its precision and the ability to position astounding 80% of its shots in a 40-second time from diameter circle at 4,000 feet in the air. In 1991 during Operation Desert Storm, just the American A-10s were able to achieve amazing feats. They accomplished to destroy more than 900 Iraqi tanks, alongside with an astounding 2,000 additional battles, 1,200 artillery pieces, and 1,200 vehicles. It is not hyperbole to state that the G8 Avenger was a key figure in transforming the combat zone. It is unusually positioned, somewhat off-center, with the barrel at the port side of the firing point that is in line with the plane's. This design integration's center line guarantees the firepower's proper range and streamline the ammunition percussion for this monstrous cannon. Length is 5 feet, 11.5 inches, and has a remarkable capacity for holding up to 1,350 rounds of ammunition in the 30mm top. Protect these practice rounds from the adversary. Utilize an ingenious system of armor-plated different thicknesses were put in place between the skin of the aircraft and thermodrum. With this clever designates in stopping incoming shells from detonating the GAU rounds too soon. Mostly, A-10 was constructed around this cannon. But it doesn't only depend on its Avenger cannon. Has the following features: Maverick AGM-65 air-to-surface missile switch function as the first defense in opposition to anti-aircraft systems when directed towards aircraft. These missiles can determine and remove dangers using infrared or electro-optical radiation from a significant distance. Throughout Maverick's Operation Desert Storm, even at night, an infrared camera was employed, missions acting as a kind of the A-10's temporary night vision system. Arsenal is not limited to that. It also comprises cluster bombs, Hydra 70 and GPS, and laser-guided bombs, rocket pods like the Paveway bombs GDM, and GBU-39 munitions dispenser with wind correction and glide. The Joint Standoff Weapon AGM-154 bombs to maintain this storied aircraft. The A-10 Precision Engagement to Date program that was started between 2006 and 2010. Extensive improvements bringing all A-10's these upgrades to the A-10C standard. Unveiled a fresh onboard computer display shows the cockpit's controls along with two new 5.5-inch color screens featuring a moving map roll that improves overall performance. Moreover, the A-10 has a missile attack, alerting the pilot with a warning system to any approaching missile dangers. Whether thief-friendly or hostile inside the aircraft, the electronic warfare unit's range YALC 184 improves upon the A-10's defensive prowess of about 6%. Of the aircraft is additionally coated in thick armor, making it resistant to direct impacts from powerful explosives and armor-piercing redundant hydraulic flight projectile systems, enhanced with a mechanical backup, guarantee the A-10's continued operation to continue operating despite extensive harm in order to safeguard the A-10's essential interior elements, such as the cockpit and certain components of its flight control systems and opulent titanium coating. Aircraft armor, referred to as the bathtub, has been utilized when integrated. This armor is resistant to 23mm cannon fire strikes, as well as some direct hits caused by a 57mm shell pieces of the airplane's front wind. Additionally, the screen and canopy are made to withstand fire, especially small arms fire, which poses the greatest risk when the A-10 lowers itself toward the earth to combat enemy ground forces. To further protection from ground assaults on the 4 fuel tanks in the aircraft fuel system are positioned with purpose close to the aircraft center and are not connected to the fuselage needed for this arrangement. Bullets to initially enter the aircraft skin prior to arriving at a fuel the exterior skin of tank. The majority of fuel system parts are situated inside the fuel tanks, reducing the fuel loss risk as a result of component not offering an additional layer of safeguarding. The fuel tank seat is lined with reticulated polyurethane foam. The tank's exterior and interior sides keeping debris contained and limiting fuel spillage in the event that. One of the strongest arguments in favor of the A-10 sustained assistance is its ease of use and simplicity of maintenance. It doesn't need specific runways and are able to function from master airfields, which significantly adaptable to different situations. Its simple layout and sturdy building ensures that it can endure the rigors of battle and keep going even in difficult conditions. This simple method permits effective maintenance even at limited capacity bases that stand out. The aircraft's modular design building that makes many of its components that can be switched out between the right and left sides are supplied with this vital elements, such as the engine's primary landing gear, as well as vertical stabilizers, in addition to the plane's sturdy low-pressure landing gear. Tires and roomy wings enable it to be departing from brief, uneven runways even with a heavy load of ordnance. Because of its adaptability, it can operate from the taxiways of damaged airfields and even long straight highways when circumstances exist where runways, in particular those at forward air bases, are vulnerable to harm from outside sources. Objects. The special engine of the A-10 arrangement offers a remedy for the TF-34 General Motors G100 turbofan engine's. Electricity is positioned carefully to lessen the possibility of foreign objects consuming. This not only improves engine safety, but it also enables the plane to continue to function while maintenance is being performed. And rearmament using ground force screws level of efficiency is considerably decreases the time it takes for the design off. The A-10 includes the location of its engine as well as exhaust nozzles that serve numerous for what the engines are configured to do. That distributes waste across the tail, decreasing the likelihood of discovery by missiles using an infrared homing system. Additionally, the exhaust nozzles on the engine are positioned to offset the downward pitching scenario that would inevitably arise as a result of their elevation above the center of gravity of the aircraft. Eliminates the requirement for excessive control surface modifications to guarantee steadily flying. A-10 Warthog's persistent appeal among military pilots and its enduring significance has since been anchored in its remarkable performance in actual combat circumstances. Possibly one of its most well-known deployments occurred in 1991's Operation Desert Storm. The Warthog in the Persian Gulf played a crucial part in this conflict. In addition to powerful aircraft such as the F-15 and the stealthy F-117 attack aircraft. Involved in the Desert Storm operation, the A-10 demonstrated its unmatched efficiency in the close air assistance role, its capacity for low-level operation aids to avoid enemy attacks, and supply accurate firepower, making it a hero atop on the battlefield. The A-10 was essential part in reducing the risks presented by Iraqi armored vehicles, artillery, and tanks fragments, and even tiny targets. Its outstanding performance led to more than 1,000 Iraqi tanks were destroyed, approximately 1,200 armored Karstku artillery pieces, and helicopters, remarkably enough, in spite of facing significant enemy fire, in just 7 A-10s were shot down, resulting in about 15 injuries. For the duration of the campaign's Operation Iraq's independence in 2003 strengthened the A-10 standing as a resilient and efficiency in a combat mission in the air. Baghdad 1-10 suffered significant damage, including malfunctions in the hydraulic system, extensive damage to the engine, and engine damage its tail, wings, and fuselage. In spite of these grave circumstances, the pilot brought the damaged aircraft before returning to a southern Iraqi airfield. This amazing accomplishment highlighted the resilience of A-10 and its capacity to withstand and emerge from even the most difficult combat circumstances. Lately, when Ukraine needed an air base backing to fend off Russia's invasion of the A-10 Warthog surfaced as a lifeline once more. It has performed this function repeatedly, time and again, demonstrating its unwavering dependability. General James Holmes, the Chief of Staff Deputy for Strategic Plans and Specifications, emphasized the significance of locating the sweet spot between the accessible aircraft and the perfect A-10 replacement. Elements, such as price and affordability, is a major factor in this process of making decisions. The difficult part is making sure the new platform keeps the special qualities of the A-10 capacities and functions as a reliable guardian for the soldiers stationed. Justice, the A-10 Warthog has for many years, while the F-35 was initially considered a potential successor to the A-10, there is a growing consensus that the aircraft's distinct capabilities and mission profile need to be upheld. It's not just about owning a plane able to carry out missions requiring close air support. It concerns owning a plane that thrives in this position and acts as a dependable guardian for troops on the ground. The A-10 Warthog, with its indomitable spirit and battlefield prowess, remains a symbol of unwavering support for the soldiers on the front lines. As the Air Force navigates the complex path of A-10 replacement, it seeks to ensure that this legacy lies on providing troops with the effective close air support they deserve for years to come. Thanks for watching. While you're still here, click on the link appearing on your screen to watch another of our interesting videos. See you there.